This is a quick look at my new Hexagon tank. And by new, I mean this tank is actually from 1991. I got it on the Facebook Marketplace a few months ago real cheap. It's about 24 gallons or so. It is a little bit scratched up given that it's almost as old as Nirvana's Nevermind, but it looks not bad. Inside I have a pair of true perculas. These guys are wild. They're from the ocean, and I'm very hopeful to have some F1 babies in the not too distant future. They were advertised as onyx. They're not really that black, but we'll see. They might still be young. Of course, perculas are definitely smaller than ocellaris. I've had them since June, and they had a nasty bacterial infection, but both of them are looking perfect these days, and they seem to be liking this new tank. The tank itself is mostly, well, entirely dry rock, which I never ever do. In the back, there's a couple of pieces of coral skeleton and live rock just to seed it. The way I did this is I drilled 2 holes in the tank, one for the drain, which I guess is a little bit loud since it's straight down, and then one for the return. I was short-shipped lock line. This is actually supposed to go a little bit deeper into the water, but I've got 2 random flow generators on the ends, and right now it's turned down a little bit. There's no coral or anything in the tank, so I'm still trying to figure out the flow pattern, but it's pretty cool that there's no wires at all in the tank. Right now I'm just using a par 38 bulb, which I had laying around. This would probably support some soft coral, but I will eventually be upgrading it. This bulb seems to have the tendency to go off every couple of hours for a few minutes. It's probably close to 10 years old, and it was just something I had in my box of fish junk. The rock is all little bits of rubble that I've glued to the 2 pipes. So other than the live rock at the back, you can go all the way around the tank. In the video it looks a little bit purple here, but that's just because the light is making it look purple. The rock itself is actually very, very white with a little bit of diatoms growing on it. There's no sand, but there is a little bit of crushed live rock, which actually looks okay. Maybe I should have sprinkled some sand in here. Generally, I despise sand, but the bottom looks a little bit nicer than the plain glass. I never got around to screwing the door back, but it sits on this teeny tiny stand. Inside I have a 5-gallon bucket, which I can no longer remove. And there's just a Lifeguard AC pump. It was some random cheap pump I got on Amazon. And there's a heater somewhere back there too. That's really all there is to this tank. There's not even anywhere for an auto top off, unfortunately. So I'm just topping it up by hand. Probably eventually there will be a few corals in here, but actually right now I'm trying to lower the salinity closer to 1.020 in an effort to encourage these 2 to spawn. The temperature currently sits at probably 81, 82, and I could push it as high as 84, but I'm a little bit scared to get that high. Just trying to help these guys along. They should be about the right size to spawn, and they've been together for a few months now, and I've been feeding them every chance I get. You can see they spend most of their time together, so they're definitely a bonded pair. How long until they're a mated pair, it's hard to say. I've always wanted true perculas. There's just something about them that is different than the ocellaris. They just look amazing. One day I hope to have them in a bigger tank with a giganta anemone. That's probably not going to happen in this little nano full of dry rock. But maybe one day either them or their descendants will end up in a tank like that. Once they start breeding, I'll definitely start making videos on that as well. Thanks for watching, and happy reefing.